Hello, fellow YouTubers. LEGO EWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast 106, Leader Class Optimus Primal. I've been looking forward to this figure. I'm not expecting it to reinvent the wheel in terms of an Optimus Primal or anything like that, but he definitely was one of the standout characters in the movie for me. So I'm looking forward to him. There he is on the side. He's on the back, Transformers in 34 steps. It says Optimus Primal and the Maximals guard a piece from the transwarp key from unwelcome visitors. All right, so we got a typo there. Interesting. Backdrop included. It's one I have, but it's bigger, so that's probably the one I'll keep. Here's on the side again. So yeah, let's go on and get into it. So here we have Primal in his gorilla mode, and the swords can store on the back. Nothing really noteworthy there. Now he does have the crawling configuration. We'll put him in the standing up configuration just for the sake of doing a more proper review of the gorilla mode. I really dig the sculpt work on this guy. A lot of really cool mechanical details. Nice fur textures. Really my main complaint I have with him visually, just in terms of the sculpt, is that this looks weird. The forearms, just the lower arms, just in general, look kind of weird with these panels on the inside and not facing out. They face out in robot mode, which I guess is the reason that they're like this, because they wanted it to look more normal in robot mode, which is fine. I can understand that, but it's a bit of a bummer since I display this guy in beast mode. But it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. On the plus side, the legs don't look too bad. Primal's gorilla modes definitely don't always look the best in as far as the legs go, but this looks okay. Really like the head sculpt. Very nicely sculpted. Now in terms of his coloration, I would definitely like some more metallic silver, but on the plus side, at least there isn't too much of a disparity with like some silver and some matte gray. The matte gray is fairly consistent and the silver doesn't feel too out of place, because that seems to happen a lot where there's just gray and then silver sprinkled throughout. It just doesn't always look the best. This looks okay. The only area where I really don't like how it looks is the lower jaw. That definitely looks out of place and can greatly benefit from having some silver paint. I do like the eyes. They definitely pop. And the maximal symbol is nice and visible, which is nice. It's a little harder to see on camera, but in real life, it stands out pretty well. Now in terms of his articulation in gorilla mode, head can look out that far. Not really any down. Can look right and left. He has some tilting, which is honestly pretty darn good. Has an opening and closing jaw. Appreciate that. Shoulders can do a full 360. You lift up the shoulder guards. Arms can go out to the side and up that far. Really nice range there. He has forward butterflies, which I think are just kind of standard issue now on the main Optimus Primal design, but hey, I'll take them. Bicep rotation, elbow bend, just a smidge under 90, but still pretty good. He has wrist rotation, some finger articulation, which I don't think is like a mandatory thing or anything, but I still like it. Now the waist, just due to how the transformation works, gets locked in place. You can sort of get things out of the way to try and free it up a little bit, but then you're just gonna mess up the look of the gorilla mode, so I just leave it locked. And as you'd expect with an Optimus Primal gorilla mode, leg articulation just kind of sucks aside from outward movement. Not really a lot you can do there. So, pretty much as per usual with Optimus Primal gorilla modes. Upper half, really nice. Lower half, really not nice. Still, he can pound his chest. that's definitely a win in my book. Then here he is with his fellow Rise of the Beast Maximals. Definitely not the best sizing wise. Either he's undersized or all the others are oversized, or combination thereof. Then here he is with the Kingdom Voyager Optimus Primal. Not a huge size difference in this mode. They still look cool together though. So I'd say that pretty much does it for the Gorilla mode. Now we can get onto the transformation. So Optimus Primal, maximize. So to transform him, just go ahead and come under here. Just get that untabbed. Pull this out and up. Go ahead and angle the head up. Go ahead and just kind of get this out of the way. Go ahead and fold this down. Hold the gorilla head down. Pull this section out. Rotate it. Then turn the head up. Push this down and close it back up. And then the arm transformation, it's kind of similar to the Transmetal Optimus Primal, the original one, which is kind of neat. Just go ahead and untab this, undo this, and then rotate the wrist so you can rotate this, rotate it back, fold this up. The hands can be a bit of a pain to work with, but it's doable. And there's a tab right here. It's going to go into that slot. Just kind of get that there. And get this, hinge it down. Then do the same thing on this side. Then for the legs, just go ahead and untab this. Just kind of angle this all down. Hold up the gorilla feet. Hold down the robot feet. Go ahead and get in here. And if you got the nails for it, go ahead and fold the heels out. And then it doesn't really tab in, but you see that sort of peg right there? It just kind of rests on that section. Like that. And this part can be a little tricky. You want to get this tab lined up with that slot right there. Can be a bit of a hassle sometimes, but it's just a matter of getting it all lined up so you can tab it in, which of course it's not wanting to do right now. There we go. I'm going to fold that up. Then do the same on this side. And there we have the legs transformed. Then just go ahead and rotate that up. Just go ahead and get this fully folded down. And then rotate this, so you can rotate that and fold it down. This tab will go in to that slot right there. So just go ahead and fold that down. Then there's a tab right there that'll go in right there, like that. And when you're done, there you have Optimus Primal in his robot mode. This guy's a decent size. I wouldn't say I'm sold on the idea of him being a leader class, but still a decent size. Once again, really like the sculpt work. The rib cage there is really nice. He cleans up fairly well. Yeah, the gorilla feet do stick out the back of the legs, but they're not too egregious, and I mean, they gotta go somewhere. Also, just like in gorilla mode, really nice head sculpt. Nicely sculpted, just all around. I really dig how that looks. Now, in terms of the coloration, just like in gorilla mode, I don't really love it, but I won't knock the figure too hard for it because it's really more of an issue I have with the CGI model than the figure itself. But still, imagine this just with like some blue and red throughout, just like in the original Beast Wars design. I think that would just really help this design stand out more. It'd be cool if Studio Series were to do, like, take the Rise of the Beast Maximals and give them Beast Wars repaints. I wish Studio Series did more stuff like that, but then again, that'd be more stuff that I'd be tempted to buy, so maybe it's for the best if they don't. I do like the battle damage on him. I know battle damage isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I like how it's done here for the most part. One thing though is that the Maximal symbol just feels a lot more faint when compared to how it was on the Gorilla mode. Not really sure why. It's just weird. As far as accessories go, we have the Transwarp Key, which can be split in two. And he can sort of hold it. It's not secure at all, but it sort of works. He also comes with his two signature swords. Pretty nicely painted. It is interesting though, there's some pins in them, and I really have no idea what purpose those serve. Like, those handles aren't moving at all, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. They have tabs on them, so they can store on his back like in Gorilla mode, which I can definitely get behind. He also comes with this chain that's two separate pieces, but I really don't take them apart that much. One thing I know people did when this first came out was give Battletrap his wrecking ball he had in the movie, which definitely doesn't look the greatest, but if you want to do that, it's always nice to have that option. Still, I'd rather give him the chain that comes in the upgrade kit. I think DNA Design made that one that gives him a chain, if I ever get around to getting that upgrade kit. Of course, the main purpose for the chain is to attach his swords to it. Just do that on both sides. And just like that, he's got his flail thingy from the movie. This isn't part of the original Beast Wars design, but this is an addition that I definitely welcome. He also comes with Optimus Prime's axe, which is decently sculpted and okay paint job. This one also has the pin in it though. What is it with their obsession with pins in this set? I have no idea. Now, I don't have a Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime yet, but I do have the Bumblebee movie one, and the axe fits in his hand just fine. And doesn't look too bad. Here's how these two look together. Now, in terms of his articulation, head is on a ball joint. Not really a whole lot of upward movement, but there is some downward movement, so reverse of Gorilla mode, I guess. Can look right and left. Not a ton of tilting, like a little bit, but not a lot. Shoulders can do a full 360, just like in Gorilla mode. A lot of upward movement there. Now, the only thing is that just due to how the transformation works, the butterflies are now backwards now, which probably could be used for some poses, but definitely not the most ideal. And again, bicep rotation. Elbow bend on this side is pretty much exactly at a 90. Also has some individual finger articulation. And I mentioned already, wrist swivel. He has a waist swivel. Legs can go forward that far and back about that far. They can go out to the side like that. Thigh rotation. Knee bend. Pretty much exactly 90, maybe just a little over. Ankle pivot, then some toe movement, and a little bit of backward movement on the feet. So the I really don't have any major complaints with it. Only nitpick really is just that the butterflies are backwards now, but I can kind of understand that. Then for comparisons, here he is with his fellow Rise of the Beast Maximals once again. I can't say with 100% certainty how accurate this is because we never saw Air Razor's robot mode in the movie, unfortunately. But if we had, this is probably fairly close. And here he is once again with the Kingdom Optimus Primal. So I think I pretty much touched on everything I wanted to talk about with this figure. I tried something a little different for this review. I actually wrote up kind of a rough script for it. I haven't been doing that for my action figure reviews in the past. I've just kind of winged it. I don't know if there's a proper past tense version of wing it, but that's what I've been doing in the past, and the reason I really wasn't doing a script is that I was worried that if I did, it would make me sound too robotic, or that it wouldn't be able to account for mishaps that could happen during the review. But at least writing down the things I wanted to talk about with it, I'm hoping that'll improve the quality of my reviews. I hope that didn't make me come across as too complaining in the videos, just when I wrote down things I liked about them and things I didn't like about them. I noticed a decent amount of things I don't like about them. Even if I do like this figure at the end of the day, it just made me notice more cons I have against him. So again, just something I hope can improve the quality of my reviews. So with that tangent out of the way, I'll go on and get this guy on the display. So here we have Optimus Primal with my rebooted movie shelf. Might notice I have Cheetor holding the transwarp key. This shelf is definitely getting kind of crowded, but I have a shelf right here that I'm gonna hang up over it, so I can split this up a little bit and hopefully make it a little less crowded. Overall, I wouldn't say this is like a groundbreaking figure. It pretty much has the pros and cons that Optimus Primals normally have. Gorilla mode is pretty good. It's got some flaws, but it's still pretty decent. Transformation, it's nothing to write home about. It is, once again, pretty much standard affair for Primal, but it does add some things that mix it up a little bit. Robot mode is really nice. Looks great. Has good posability. Once again, I'm not entirely in love with the color scheme, but I'd still blame that more on the CGI model than the figure. I wouldn't say I'm completely sold on the idea of him being a leader class, but I still recommend him. He gets the job done for just being an Optimus Primal on the movie shelf. And if you're wanting to get him, I'd recommend either Big Bad Toy Store or eBay. Those seem to be the best options right now. It is a little over the retail price, but not by that much. Now, he might still be floating around at some Targets and Walmarts. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen him in a while, but that's just my immediate area, so you might want to check those places. So, yeah, if you want to get him, I'd say those are my recommendations. So, I'd say that pretty much does it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this figure. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.